The Philippines was hit first by a powerful earthquake, shaking homes, roads, and communities across an already vulnerable region. For many people, it was another reminder that the country sits in one of the most active seismic zones on Earth. Earthquakes there are not unusual, but when they happen, they always command attention because they affect real lives, real families, and entire communities in just a matter of seconds. Then, not long after, another major earthquake struck Venezuela. That timing immediately raised questions. When two big earthquakes happen in different parts of the world in a short period of time, people naturally wonder whether something deeper is going on. Was this just coincidence? Or were the two events somehow connected? Was the Earth reacting to one major stress event across the planet? Or were these simply two separate disasters happening close together? To understand that question, it helps to look at how earthquakes actually form. Earthquakes happen when stress builds up underground along faults and plate boundaries, then releases suddenly as energy. The Earth's crust is broken into moving tectonic plates, and where those plates collide, slide, or grind against each other, earthquakes are often the result. That movement happens slowly over time, but the energy it creates can be released all at once in a violent shaking event. That is why earthquakes can strike without much warning, and why some parts of the world experience them far more often than others. The Philippines sits in a highly active tectonic setting shaped by multiple plate interactions. That makes it one of the most earthquake-prone regions on Earth. The country is surrounded by complex fault systems and subduction zones, which means stress is constantly building beneath the surface. That is why strong quakes happen there so often, and why people in the Philippines must always stay prepared for seismic activity. It is not just a matter of history, it is a matter of geography. Venezuela, however, is a completely different story. Its earthquakes come from a separate tectonic environment, with different faults and different plate movements. The country does experience seismic activity, but it is not connected to the Philippines in a direct geological sense. They are thousands of miles apart, and the forces producing earthquakes in each region come from local tectonic conditions, not from one another. So even though both countries experienced major shaking, the reason behind each event is tied to its own unique setting beneath the Earth's surface.
So, while the timing may look dramatic, the science points to a simple answer. There is no direct correlation between the Philippines earthquake and the Venezuela earthquake. One did not cause the other. That does not make the coincidence any less striking. In fact, it is exactly the kind of thing that makes people pause and ask deeper questions about the planet we live on. Earthquakes remind us that the ground beneath us is not as solid and permanent as it seems. It is alive, moving, and constantly changing, even when everything on the surface looks calm. And that is really the larger story here. Two separate countries, two separate seismic systems, two powerful earthquakes, but no direct link between them. So yes, the timing may feel meaningful, but the geology says otherwise. These were separate events shaped by separate fault systems in separate parts of the world. Still, they are a powerful reminder that our planet is constantly moving beneath our feet. and that people living in earthquake-prone regions must always respect the forces at work below the surface.
If you want to understand why earthquakes happen so often in the Philippines, make sure to subscribe to Beneath the Archipelago. This channel is not just about earthquakes. It also explores Philippine history, hidden stories, and other fascinating facts about the Philippines that help you see the country in a deeper way.